How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joe Biden breaking his foot. That's right, we're in November. It's not even December yet, let alone January, nowhere near the inauguration, which he may or may not be able to get to, but that's a different story. And I digress. The whole point is that the election just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, and here he is with a broken foot. Now, when the story first broke, it wasn't anything about a broken foot. He's talking about, he was playing with his dog Major and he sprained his ankle. Something really simple, not nothing really major, just a little boo boo, a mishap, nothing to write home about. Then it became, he's going to the doctor and, it might be a little something more. He's getting it checked out, all this and that. Then it became, it's a foot injury. Then it became, he has hairline fractures. His foot is broken. Therefore, he has to wear one of those big ski boots to recover for the next few weeks. So if Joe Biden does leave his house in Wilmington and go anywhere else, you're going to see him wearing those gigantic ski boots that comes, almost up to his knee, most likely. You might see him in crutches or something like that as well. Now, let's just back up a little bit here and talk about who Joe Biden is, or really where Joe Biden is in life. Joe Biden is, 78 years old? I think he just turned 78. You're talking about the oldest person to be, quote unquote, elected, even though it's not final, but the oldest person to be elected president ever. Okay. Now, just so you understand, I don't think that the election is final. I think we still got more to go. He might not actually be the guy, but as far as what the official results say so far, he's the oldest guy to be elected at 78 years old right now before the inauguration. So if you have a broken foot at this age or any kind of injury like that, that's kind of serious. It's going to reduce your mobility. And if you're not able to be mobile, that's going to increase chance of mortality as you get to be up there in age. Okay. Once you get to be above 75 or so, you can't really move around. That's going to really cause you to have less life left. That's just what it is. But Joe Biden has had other incidents before, other accidents, and other serious injuries. Back in 1988, he had two brain aneurysms. I'm not quite sure what it was caused by. Was it a fall or just diet, hereditary, or just a random thing? I don't really know how the aneurysms happened, but he did have two brain aneurysms. So he's had a traumatic brain injury, if I'm not mistaken, bleeding on the brain. And this was 30 years ago. And I think we've seen cognitive decline ever since. Going back to the 80s and 90s, he was pretty coherent in his speech, but as the years progressed, that has pretty much devolved into what we see now. You're talking about maybe some kind of other disease aside from a brain aneurysm or a broken foot, possibly Parkinson's, possibly Alzheimer's. I don't know what he has. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose him. But if you've been observing this man over the past few days, weeks, months, and years, you see a man that is not quite in the right state of mind. So not only does his mind appear to be in bad shape, his body does as well. When you see him, just even without the gigantic ski boot, the galoshes or whatever you want to call the boot they put on your leg when you have an injury to your ankle or your foot, aside from that, he does not look good physically. Okay, just you're talking about vampire color pale. The hair is just barely there. I'm a bald head guy myself, but I shave bald. This guy, his hair and his head, you're talking about Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I mean, he does not look well. If he was to be cast in Babel for something like that, he would not need any makeup or any prosthesis aside from some fangs. He could fit right into the cast right now. But I digress. The whole point is that this man is falling apart, in my humble opinion, right before our very eyes. He's falling apart. It reminds me of a movie called Beetlejuice. And I'm kind of showing my age a little bit. You youngins who have not seen that movie, go ahead and watch it. It's a cool little funny movie. Halfway scary a little bit if you're scared by, like kind of like hand puppets, but different story. Anyway, in Beetlejuice, I think there was one particular scene where they had like this little waiting room with the dead, and one person appeared to be like falling apart right there. I forget what that was, but I've seen movies and stuff where you got a guy just falling apart, stuff falling off him, ear falling off, and everything else. That kind of reminds me of what's happening to Joe Biden right now. Okay, now Trump tweeted Biden well. He said, "Get well soon." Trump being a great guy, a humanitarian guy, a nice guy in that particular instance. But I mean, I think that Joe Biden is going to have a lot more incidents like this. Now, what's going to be the end result of what's happening right now with his foot? I don't know. Is he going to mess around and break something else? Is he going to be in the wheelchair? Is he going to be on crutches? I would presume if you are Joe Biden, you would just pretty much stay in your house. I mean, he's been staying in his house the entire time. He didn't even campaign. People talking about, oh, he got 80 million votes because he was a great campaigner. I can't tell. This man barely left his house at all. And when he would leave his house in Wilmington, Delaware, he grew up the road basically to Philadelphia. That's about 45 minutes away. Wilmington is in the Philadelphia metro area. Yeah, it's in Delaware, but it's right on the border of Delaware and Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is right out the way. And Chester, Pennsylvania, Camden, New Jersey, that's all right there in the same metro area. Okay, you got the state line and the river dividing it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much how that goes. So as I close, I want to say this. Joe Biden does not look well already. You got hairline fractures in your foot. Your foot is broken from playing with your dog. How does that happen? Did you fall? Okay, you playing with your dog. What you gonna do? You got a ball. You throwing it across the room. You on the ground saying "good boy," all this and that. So how do you go from that to breaking your foot? How does that actually happen? What was the specific circumstances upon which his foot was broken? Was his foot already broken? Because they put him in there with a CT scan because the X-ray didn't show anything, but the CT scan did show hairline fractures. So did he already have those? They just happened to show it on the CT scan. What else is wrong with this man aside from what we can see, obviously, with our own two eyes, as far as his cognitive decline and also his foot? Do we have brain injuries? Like, what's really going on with this man? I think he needs to do a full physical and a cognitive test publicly. I'm talking about doing a live stream. As a matter of fact, if he was to do a cognitive test and like a CAT scan and some other stuff live on stream, it'd be his biggest stream ever because nobody watched those dry, unentertaining, uninformative streams full of lies when he was so-called quote-unquote campaigning while not really campaigning. Nobody watched that at all. It'd be his biggest stream yet and the most important one yet because we'll be able to see what's going on with this man rather than his campaign attempt to hide him in Wilmington. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Joe Biden is telling us everything that's going on with himself? Is he trying to hide something else? Somebody said that the boot is going to hide an ankle monitor. I don't know anything about that. You guys smarter than I am. You probably know more about that. Let me know what's going on with the ankle monitor thing in the comments below. I'm not really sure that his foot was broken in that particular instance with the dog. It could have been anything. He could have been just taking a shower or something like that and had the classic, I've fallen and I can't get up. And then you mess around and break your leg or something. I mean, because when you put on one of those boots, you could conceal a different injury. Like, let's say his leg was broken. You could put on the boot and conceal that. Because it'll pretty much go up his entire leg from the bottom of his knee, like right at his knee line, all the way down to his entire foot. So he could conceal a broken leg that way. He might have messed around and slipped in the shower and pushed a little button on his on his life device and got the police to come out there to help him. That could have happened. I don't really know. But I think that we're going to see a lot more deterioration from this man. Like I was saying during the primary and also when Biden became the nominee, I feel like they want to have Kamala Harris become the president. That's what they want. They want her to become the president, and they might make the case. If Joe Biden was to become inaugurated, which is still up for grabs, but if he was to become inaugurated, they try to say, oh, he has a lot of problems. He's physically unable to do it. Mentally, he's not really there. Oh, we did a test. We did a live stream. Thanks to ABL, we did a live stream, and then it came back that he was not really fit for office. So we're going to put him aside and then let Kamala Harris run the nation. And really, the whole thing about Kamala would be kind of symbolic anyway, because she will not run the nation. It'll be the deep state swamp that'll run the nation from behind the scenes. She'd be the figurehead. Okay, it'd just be a way for them to try and gain more of the black and quote unquote minority and also female vote back that they lost to Trump in 2016 and 2020. It's just a long game and a chess game. That's all it's about. It's not really about trying to empower the woman or the black woman. They don't really care about that at all. They could not care less. All they really care about is just trying to maintain their power and to regain power that had been lost over the past few years. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.